Alright. Samurai Cop versus Wolf Cop. Now, Samurai Cop was a movie back in the early 80s. I'm going to say 81. And this is when the 70s era was over. The 80s was coming in. The feel-good era was in. And basically, Samurai Cop came to play. Never saw the movie, saw clips of it. I just recently saw an article said the worst movies of the 80s or something, or that were said to be the worst movies, and Samurai Cop was one of them. And I understand why, because there's a clip on YouTube. Y'all can check it out, see what I mean. Samurai Cop. Can't miss it. You'll know what it is. And the cop is working with a detective. Something has gone down. And I can't remember if they went to a lab or a hospital, but they're talking to a woman. And the woman pulls aside the Samurai Cop and asks him a bunch of questions. One of the questions, I know for a fact, unless it was a rated R film, something like from, what was it called? The Hangover, or one of those kind of movies, like Hall Pass or things like that. I would expect that line to be in those kind of movies. Any other movie, it would not make a lick of sense. Unless it was a comedy, and unless the comedy was about, like I said, something like Hall Pass, it could go through. It could go through just fine. Yeah. Well, they were starting out in the 80s. They were starting to figure out what kind of movies that people really did want to see. So there's Samurai Cop. Then you had Wolf Cop. Now, Wolf Cop, it was on Netflix, and the premise of the story was a cop stumbles upon a ritual, and on that ritual, he is somehow turns into a wolf and has vowed revenge on the people who did the rituals for revenge. Cool. I'm sold. Let me check it out, because the question was, okay, he's a cop that stumbled upon this and became a werewolf because of this. And the question is, one, what does he look like? Is he full-blown werewolf, or is he like Wolfman werewolf? Does he still retain his human side? Or is this something like out of, what was that, American Werewolf in London? Is it something like that, where he doesn't remember? Is there going to be another werewolf? Are we going to see a werewolf fight? Also, what is the makeup going to be? Those were my 5 questions, which is why I went to watch the film. I haven't seen Cocaine Bear, but apparently it had the same kind of atmosphere of that. Because it clearly was not what I was expecting. It was more of a comedy. And there's a scene where his friend, who just found out that he was a werewolf, because he turned and everything, and they're playing cards. So he does retain his human side, it's just not like that. It's like almost like Teen Wolf. There you go. And I mean, not the Teen Wolf from MTV from back in 2011. I mean Teen Wolf with Michael J. Fox, 1985 Teen Wolf. So basically, it was like that, just horror. But it wasn't even horror. And there's a scene where the friend helps him out and brings him into... It helps him out and gets a girl to help him out. And that scene itself made no sense. I'm like, what the heck is this? What? I had to turn it off because I couldn't take it seriously. It was like Drive Angry it was like Drive Angry and Teen Wolf had a baby, and you have Wolf Cop. Scenes that just wasn't necessary, didn't make sense. It was like the werewolf version of The Revenant, starring David Anders, who's a good actor. Watch The Revenant. Go ahead and check it out because it's a black comedy horror, and it seemed that that's what Wolf Cop was, a black comedy horror. But it looked like they just pitched the idea, say, hey, just give us this much money and we'll take it from there. It should have been more. If it would have done more of a serious kind of horror movie, I would have been sold. Yeah, no. Retain some of the human aspect. Okay, cool. And it was like, oh, is the werewolf going to shoot it? No, I don't think it was going to shoot its firearm, its piece. I think it would have maybe just been a cop. It was enough to retain the aspect of what the police people take an oath was to serve and protect. So I'm sure that piece side would have served and protect. But yeah, I don't know. Wolf, you guys look it out. Samurai Wolf. It's not Samurai. That would have been something. Samurai Cop and Wolf Cop. Go ahead and check it out. I don't know if you could see Wolf Cop on YouTube. I wouldn't be surprised if there are clips on. See what I mean? Because, it didn't make a lot of sense. Nope.